What's happening, everybody? It is March 28th, I think. Monday, March 28th. Current time is 22:19 or 10:19 p.m. We're getting ready to make another delivery to the Walmart DC at Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. Once again, we're on State Route 29. Just east of Elmore City. Just got past the Airport Road, which is actually the street that the Walmart DC is on, but not allowed to go that way in a truck. So we'll continue this route over to I-35 and go north just like we normally do. This is a load of assorted produce, basically, that I picked up at the Walmart DC in Colton. As of right now, I don't have a reload. I don't know what I'll be doing next. I am running out of recaps. I will tell you what I end up with remaining on my clock when I shut down. I had a pretty good number of recap hours come back overnight. And I will be getting another really good recap coming back in about an hour and a half from now, a little over an hour and a half. So I should be able to run some pretty good hours tomorrow, but the fun will be short-lived before I end up having to probably have to sit for extra time waiting so I can get into feature recaps, I guess I would say. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing, though. Like I say, if I have to wait on hours, that means I'm burning my hours, and if I'm burning my hours, it must mean I'm getting decent miles as well, so I can't complain about that. I like to drive at night anyway, so I'm all for running on recaps. I know a lot of people prefer doing 34-hour resets regularly, and they hate driving at night. I'm the opposite way. I like to drive at night, even though I do get sleepy and end up stopping for a nap. Speaking of, when I picked this load up, as you guys might have seen in the previous video, it was ready to go right away. It was a drop and hook pickup. However, I did spend an extra 40 or so minutes there bullshitting with another JCT driver before I went to go hook up to my trailer. I ended up getting over to Seligman, Arizona by the time I ended my shift. Got to Seligman probably around 2 or about 3 in the morning, somewhere around there. Yeah, I think it was around there 2:30, 3, I don't know. I was getting a little bit on the tired side. Probably could have pushed a little further to perhaps Williams or something, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to probably be a little more tired than I really should be by the time I get up there. And I was already well within range of getting here to Pauls Valley in 2 more shifts. So I went ahead and just shut down there in Seligman. And then it turned out when I wake up, a friend of mine was actually parked right next to me. So I messaged him and asked him, hey, that's you aren't you parked right next to me? And I go, yeah, I'm inside the building eating some Mexican food. So I'll go in there and meet up with him, hanging out with him. Those of you guys who are JCT drivers might know him. His name is Brett Juliet. I've known him for at least for pretty much most of the time he's been with JCT, which has been at least 2 years, getting closer to 3, I think he said now. First met up with him while we were both in the line at Blue Beacon in Salt Lake City a while back. Probably at least 2 years ago. Anyway, we hung out for a bit and then got rolling, and along the way on my next shift, I was going to try to get to perhaps Russell's Travel Center on the east end of New Mexico. Talking to my trainer, who guys for hurricane. He was westbound, and he told me he was going to shut down at Speedy's, right at the Arizona-New Mexico border. So I figured, I'll go ahead and stop and hang out, visit with him for a bit. And then it turns out as soon as I get parked and get out of my truck, start walking toward Joe, I start looking around, Joe being my trainer. I realize that Brett is parked just 3 spots over from me. So we end up chit-chatting for a while there. I know Brett and Joe had a pretty good conversation about guns. Good time, good people there, both of them. I got I-35 coming up straight up ahead. I do want to make sure I get time to address a couple of things that were brought up in comments on a recent video by one of my former CR England brethren, Charles Wright. If you don't know him, he's got well over about 25 or so years of experience now, and originally known through CR England. He also watches my channel a lot, and in the past I used to live stream a lot, if you guys know, and he would regularly watch my channel. I'd chit chat with him and a bunch of other regular people. I do want to talk about that, because he did bring up the thing where he kind of missed interacting on the live streams. So I don't do live streams while I'm parked. I tend to do them while I'm driving. And alright, so when I'm just going down the road, the live streams are fun. Alright, here's the problem though. When I'm live streaming, I have the phone oriented in landscape mode. And alright, we're going north on 35 now. Alright, the phone is in landscape mode, and it's also right in the middle of my dash. It's a further reach to get to it. It's not a bad spot actually, where I can kind of glance at it and sometimes interact whatever with what you guys say. But I have other functions I like to be able to do, like change my music or keep monitoring the map for traffic updates, or get on the fly weather updates if I have weather that I'm going to be dealing with. And that is most practical to do in portrait mode. And if I'm going to be doing any of that kind of stuff, I'd much rather be right next to the steering wheel in the mount that my phone is currently sitting in. And it's a lot easier to work with that. I can still use my peripheral vision to maintain awareness of what's going on around me. Again, I don't look at it for more than a couple seconds before I back on the road. Looking to back on the road for safety reasons. Anyway, I did have a second phone when I upgraded to this one, which I have a Note S20 Ultra. I don't know what happened to the phone though. I remember when my sons were at my house, I don't know if they misplaced it somewhere at the house, or if I brought it to the truck and misplaced it myself. I don't know, but it's missing in action. And as long as I don't have a second phone to work with, I don't want to live stream. Eventually, I might just go ahead and buy a second phone or something, or I don't know, maybe even I think we just upgraded my kids' phones recently, so I might even have to explore that. Maybe see about using one of their old phones. So I do have hotspot service through this phone, and I did it specifically so I can live stream and be able to use the second phone for the little miscellaneous stuff that I need to use it for in portrait mode. Alright, first exit coming up right here. This is going to be Airport Drive, where the Love's truck stop is. We're going to be getting off there. Okay, also, something else I wanted to talk about was something else that Charles mentioned. I talked about my military service and my Air Force service. And Charles basically wanted to know if I had any experience working on C-5 aircraft, which is the big, huge cargo aircraft. It weighs 900,000 pounds when it's fully loaded. I will say yes and no. I was never in a C-5 unit. However, I did on one occasion do what we call summer camp. You know, when I was in the Air Force Reserve, a bunch of us went up to Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska. Basically, what we do up there is spend a couple of weeks helping out with the transient alert people up there, basically. So, whenever we had C5s, C-141s, or whatever else coming through, if they didn't have their own crew chiefs on board to do their own work, we would basically do the work on it. You know, inspect them, or what is this guy doing? Why are you in the middle of the damn lane? I don't know what he's trying to do, but I don't know if he's going to try to park behind this guy or what. I'm not going to play guessing games. It looked like he stopped, so I'll go around him. I don't know if he suddenly changed his mind and decided to park behind that guy, but after he was already... There, you at least turn your high beams off. Ah, fuck it. Okay, so while I was up at Elmendorf Air Force Base, which is in Anchorage, that was the only time I really did any, I guess you could say, quote-unquote work on C-5s. Yeah, we call, in the Air Force, we call them, crew chief world, we call them FREDs. Fucking ridiculous economic disaster. They have, they break down all the time. As soon as they fly at all, they have something go wrong usually. You know, and they would usually land with at least a couple of pages worth of write-ups in them on an everyday basis. At least maybe even like 5 or 6 pages. Every page could handle about 3 write-ups on them. And yeah, those things would have constant things that needed to get some TLC every time. Maintenance hours per flying hour is a metric that aircraft maintenance management types work with a lot, and yeah, C5s are freaking pigs when it comes to that. Okay, there's actually a spot right there at this casino, but I don't really need to worry about that. There's a dirt lot over here. I'm pretty sure there's going to be plenty of parking available here. And it's right across the street from the DC. So when it's time to check in, which is only about 7 hours from now, all I have to do is go straight across the street and check in. Yeah, I do see some trucks here, but I do see plenty of room because I only see one set of trucks, and I see one truck right here facing the other way, which means there's a ton of room. Alright. Oops, I was a little bit too fast. I was ready to drop into 5th, but come on. But I was still going a little bit too fast to get into 5th. See what we got to work with here. Okay, we'll finish talking about the military service here. Alright. There's plenty of room here. I'll just go ahead and park over on this side where this other truck is. Yeah, see, this is a huge dirt lot. You can get washouts done over here, and there's a guy over here, I guess the guy who runs this place, whatever, he's got like a little kitchen thing there. A lot of it's just frozen food stuff, but Really nice guy. He'll actually even give you a ride over to into town to, if you need to do any shopping, whatever. He'll actually give you a ride over there. Yeah, really nice guy. Alright, about right there. Alright, nobody out here. I normally have my windows down right now, but nobody in existence around here, and don't want the dust that's got kicked up flying into my truck. Alright, so that should be good there. Okay, so we'll go into more depth now on my military history. Again, I was in the Air Force. I enlisted in 1995. I did 4 years of active duty. All of it was at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. I was a crew chief on EC-130 aircraft, which is a variant of the C-130 Hercules. They had two different types of bird EC-130s there when I was there. There were two squadrons there that handled, that was what you call the compass call platform. What they do is basically radio jamming. They had to jam TV also, but basically any kind of radio signals they look for that are transmitting, anything where the enemy's transmitting, whether it's digital or, electronic or voice transmissions that enemies are using to communicate with each other, and they'll jam them up, basically overload them with garbage. Kind of the simple way to explain that. The other squadron that is no longer in existence is the one that I was in, and that was the 42nd Airborne Command and Control Squadron, or 42nd ACS. What we did is we had this big ass capsule that we kept inside the back of the airplane, filled up the entire back end of the plane, and had usually up to between 11 and 15 people that worked at these different these terminals, radio and computer terminals inside there. Basically, it was Airborne Command and Control. What they would do would be they'd fly around in orbit somewhere outside the combat zone and keep in touch with ground troops, as well as AWACS and JSTARS or whatever. AWACS does the air-to-air radar basically, and JSTARS does air-to-ground radar pretty much, and basically keep a good awareness of the entire battlefield, what's going on. And I'd also have people on the ground who were embedded with what we'd call TAC-Ps, basically, Tactical Air Control Parties, that were Air Force types, Special Forces. They would be embedded with ground troops, with Army, Marine Corps, whatever. And we have some more up there, basically, inside our airplane, and they'd talk to each other and then figure out where, if any kind of help was needed, and our airplanes would send close air support aircraft into the area to help them deal with whatever problem they have to deal with. Kind of soften them up, make it easier for to win a battle. Spent a lot of my time, my active duty time, at Aviano Air Base, Italy. I was the whole 4 years I was active duty. Now, mind you, the last month of my service was on terminal leave, basically, where I was burning up what leave I had before I officially separated, which I didn't really separate because I ended up switching from, I used what was called Palace Front program to switch over to Air Force Reserve. But, aside from probably 4 months at the start of my career with between basic training and tech school, and another month of terminal leave. So maybe a little bit more than 3.5 years total that I was actually doing much at Davis-Monthan, and almost a year of that time was spent in Italy. So I know something I really enjoyed was being in Italy. I loved it there. Didn't tend to like some of the gung-ho fighter mentality. yeah, those of us who work on heavies don't tend to like gung-ho. This fighter, the fighter aircraft world, they tend to be a lot more gung-ho. Go, 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 like high ops tempo, because those damn little things will, they only fly about an hour, hour and a half at a time, and they'll fly like 4 sorties every day or something. And our airplanes, we'll launch them. They'll fly around for, even at home station on a regular training mission, perhaps 4 to 6 hours or something. And, then we go do work on some other aircraft while our plane's flying. And then when our plane's ready to land, go recover it and start inspecting it and refueling it or whatever else needs to be done, fixing it. So overall, it was enjoyable work there. After I left active duty, I went to March Air Reserve Base. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about that. I actually spent about 16 years there. I did my whole 20 years career total. All but about a year, maybe a year and a half. Actually, not even a year and a half. Less than a year and a half of my time at March, I was what you would call a traditional reservist, where I was just regular, only there on, a weekend warrior type, as you might call it. But even then, I was doing a lot of what you'd call man days and working, doing orders, helping out with stuff during on the weekdays as well. I ended up getting hired full time as a dual status technician, though. Basically, it was civilian/military. It's basically a civilian job that stipulates that you have to be a drilling reservist in the same unit that you work as a civilian for. Did the rest of my career doing that. Worked in a shop basically that worked on, when I first started out at March, I was C-141 crew chief. What you do this is. After I got done working on those, when I got hired on full time, I worked in a specialty shop that was, I always like to call it crew chiefs on steroids, because we're crew chiefs by trade, all of us, but, in that shop. But we do a lot of things that flight line crew chiefs are not capable of doing, or they don't have the more finely tuned knowledge for like troubleshooting. We did a lot of flight controls, landing gear, and actuated doors work is the easiest way I can describe it. Those of you guys who have Air Force experience or watching this, you might know it as aero repair or reclamation and repair or AR or R&R shop, whichever. That's basically what I did. Sported C-141s and KC-135s. And then after the C-141s retired from our unit, we replaced some of my C-17s, and I worked on C-17s as well. Enjoyed the time overall on all those airplanes. Even with C-17s, as nice as those are for maintenance, I will say though, even with those, I had times where I'd like, who the hell's the stupid idiot engineer who designed this or put this there or whatever? Some of the stuff that just makes you scratch your head at what the hell they're thinking. I especially would complain about that with KC-135s. But Flightline KC-135 guys, I know they love that airplane. It was really simple aircraft to work, but I don't know. C-141s were definitely pigs as well with some of the stupid designs, so I can't say much better there. Anyway, that's pretty much sums up my my military career for the most part for you. I can go into more detail on that, but we don't go too long and bore you with too much, or don't want to make this video too excessively long, because we want to talk mostly about making this delivery and what's happening up next. Like I said, I don't have a reeve load yet. I hope to have one by the time I leave here tomorrow. I don't know for sure what'll happen. Okay. I was like, never mind. I'm down to only an hour and 23 left on my 70-hour clock right now. I'm like, that's not going to get me very far. But I get 10 hours and 34 minutes back on my clock in about an hour and 20 from now. So I will have enough to do a pretty full shift tomorrow. After that, though, I got 7:01 and 8:40 coming back, and then 11:07. So I'm going to be sitting around waiting for recaps for sure on the next load. It's either that, or I'm going to be sitting here waiting to waiting to move before I pick up my next load. But we'll see. Figure out what works with my hours and all that, and hopefully get a load assignment before I leave here. So that way, before I end this video, you guys will have at least some kind of an idea of what to expect on my next video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just go get me some rest and get to editing, previous videos that I haven't had a chance to work, or really just the Walmart pickup now for this load here. By the time you see this, it'll already be on the channel, but I still have to do the work on it. So I'm going to start working on that, get me some rest, and we'll continue this from the guard shack, all right? Alright guys, we are checked in now. Once again, I don't have a dock door for me, so par for the course there. Third week in a row I've been here, and third week in a row I don't have a dock door. So we will come up here. I don't see, well, there aren't any trucks sitting there waiting. Unless they backed into drop spots. I do see a truck parked in one of these drop spots, which I might do the same. Alright, so yeah, same thing we usually been doing here. Just come up here to the corner, park, and go check in. Yeah, they actually do have a couple of open drop spots here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a spot, and like this one here. No, never mind. There's Heartland Express trailer sitting there, so I guess I won't be putting it there. Alright, we'll just put it right here then, I guess, up next to these JB Hunt containers. And we'll go check in. Alright guys, we have a dock door assignment already. As soon as I checked in, the lady in there made a phone call. I did see another truck over here though. So. It's going to be in door 101. Oh, come on, dude. I'm going right there. Oh. So that guy stopped because he saw me starting to move. I didn't know, I wasn't sure where I was going, so I pointed. I'm going into door 101, which is the closest door you can get to the building. It's going to be a challenge though, because these contractors are right here. In fact, I had to kick a guy out of my, a contractor out of my dock door because he was nosed into there. And actually right in my door area, so I had to wake him up because he was sleeping. I was going to turn the other direction, but there's not enough room to work with, so I'll go this way instead. End up right around. Oh, that guy's not all the way in the door yet. Might have to wait on him. around him, but oh, there we go. Now he's backing up. Make sure I'm still clear of everything over here. Not sure what these guys have going on, but it's a little bit of a cluster there with these guys around though. Make it a little more of a challenger. Now my tandems are overshooting because I couldn't chase it down because this these pickups are in the way. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get as far back as we can. I'm going to have to reset more night. I don't think I'm going to get my tandems over there fast enough, so we'll get as far over as we can and reset. Tandem's position right where I wanted them earlier, but I couldn't chase it down because this pickup was blocking me from doing it. Right on top of that line on the right side to square up the door. Okay, we'll get disconnected and wait for a few hours and we'll get out of here. What the fuck are you doing? Alright guys, this is a case of stupid people training just ignorant. The lady here is training the lady's driving this truck in the door next to me. Don't be that person, alright? One, you don't fucking stand back there by the dock door when the truck is backing in. I've heard of, I can tell you cases of spotters who were in between the trailer and the door and actually got crushed by the driver. I mean, unless you're a fucking moron, you don't do that kind of thing. And then on top of that, her window was closed, so if something goes on over here, like maybe if I'm over here trying to yell so I don't get hit from the side or something or whatever, I can't. I'm not going to be able to get their attention because they're not going to be able to hear me. I can tell you from experience, I had a co-driver when I was new. He had a backing incident that could have been avoided. A, had he not done something stupid, made a dumb decision with the maneuvering. But two, if he had the window, his passenger window closed, his passenger window open, he would have been able to tell he would have been able to hear a woman who was over there trying to yell at him to stop because he was about to hit somebody. And because he had his window up, he couldn't hear her, and he ended up hitting somebody. Anyway, I'm going to call up the office now, let them know I'm docked in and all that, and we'll wait for him to call, come and get the bills. Alright guys, we are all done here. This was a much more timely delivery than the previous ones. Back up and hook up and make sure I got good pressure there. Altex Logistics, truck number 1351. That's the one I was telling you about. Trainer is a fucking idiot. You don't stand there back by the dock door, especially not in a spot where the trainee backing up toward you can't even see you. I'm going to pull forward real quick, double check that I got my load lock back. I think this guy's getting ready to dock in right here, so I'll probably head over to the passenger side so we can do this thing. Alright, got one more minute left of sleeper berth before I can go on duty. Actually, you go personal use and empty. Alright, here's that L3522 over there, black Freightliner. Got a few dock doors down. And we got 4249 black KW right over here, a company driver. Saw a third JCT over here too. Alright, we're good to go. We're emptying OS&Ds. I don't have a reload assignment yet, but it is only 8:43 local time. We got here L4347 white Freightliner. Not even looking. He's looking at his phone or something. Alright, Yeah, our planners and DMs, they don't start their day until 8 a.m. Central, and that was not even an hour ago. So that would have a lot to do with why I don't have a pre-plan yet. Not to mention the fact I'm on recaps. It's that's going to be more limiting on what reloads are available to me, because they have to, they're only going to really be able to put me on loads that work with my hours, that I can still deliver on time. If I get offered a load that is that I don't have the hours for, it's more likely going to be a case of they just don't have any drivers available to cover that particular load, and they just want me to pick it up and get it moving. But chances are I will get a pre-plan that does work with my hours. I say I did get good recaps back last night. Anyway, let me close my doors and all that, and turn my trailer control record in, TCR in, and we'll get out of here. Alright, we'll go ahead and go down the street to the Loves. I know you guys always enjoy watching some backing video stuff, real world backing stuff, so we'll get over there and get parked before we end this for you guys. For those of you guys at JCT, again, if you've never been here before and you're not really sure where we go from here, usually it's up, toward at least in the direction of Oklahoma City. It's not always the case, though. I did have, a couple weeks ago, I headed over to Cactus, Texas for a JBS load. A lot of times I'll go over to Rogers, Arkansas, or Russellville, Arkansas. I think I've even gone down toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area region to reload. So if you deliver here, if you're a JCT driver and you deliver here and you don't have a pre-plan by the time you're empty, it's a good idea to just stay here in the area until you know for sure what you're doing afterward. Because you might not want to head up north, and only to find out that they give you a plan that maybe pick up in Sherman, Texas, or Tyler, Texas, or somewhere else in the DFW area, or somewhere out in that general direction. Or like what happened to me a couple weeks ago, where I did hit in 400 miles, or almost 400 miles to Cactus, which is, I ended up going back to the northwest over to Amarillo, and then straight to the north another hour from Amarillo to get to Cactus. So, good practice to stay here in the area. Unless you already know where you for sure where you're going. I did make really, really good progress on that Walmart pickup video for the load that I just picked up. The pickup part of the load that I just finished delivering, that's this video. So happy I have that done, and now I got plenty. I'll be able to clear up more SD card space pretty quickly with this footage. That's a long straight back there. Plenty of open spots available. That's not very smart there, Werner. Driving past a truck that is in the middle of doing a backing you never know where the front of their tractor is going to go because they're trying to keep their trailer pointed where they need it to be. I'll probably go for one of these spots right over here. I'll fake scale, as we might call it, and I don't know, maybe park right over here next to this FNH Logistics, whoever that guy is. Or I couldn't even go for that spot right here in front of me, but I'm not really set up right for it. Actually, you know what? This right here is good. Let's do a U-turn setup.
Some retards can't read.
Okay, as soon as I can see the on the other side of Raider Express, windows down.
To do it.
Okay, get them tandem centered. I'll get the drive centered. And then the steer centered. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap this one up. Let's say this was a much more timely delivery than the last couple times I was here. You guys might have seen those other two where I spent 40 minutes even just waiting for a phone call to say that I could dock in. And definitely spent more time in the dock doors those two occasions. This time around, I'd say it was a 6 a.m. appointment. I got in line about, I don't know, 5:10 or so. Probably got over by the, got checked in at the office about 5:30, not long, and right away I got a dock door assignment, and barely after 8:30 in the morning, it's still over 2 hours. Some of you guys are still bitch and complain about that, but that's nothing. That's barely even enough to get detention pay. And where am I gonna go? I got 11:58 on my 70-hour clock, and only 7:01 coming back tonight, and 8:40 coming back the following night. I can't even run full shifts over the next 3 days. I can run a full shift today, but can't run a full shift the next 2 days. So that's one of those cases. Why do you need to complain about that kind of thing? Okay, do I want to sit here, sit in a dock door? Do I want to sit here waiting somewhere or, for something, or whatever? If it's not enough where it merits doing a 34-hour reset, but you gotta sit somehow, just somewhere, somehow. Doesn't really matter that much where it's actually at. Now, actually, if I'm at a customer, the more I sit there, the more detention pay I collect on top of it. So, as far as I'm concerned, go ahead and keep me there. If I'm going to be sitting anyway, so I'd rather get paid for it if I'm going to sit. So, I'm not going to get paid sitting here. Alright, so anyway, that's something I recommend you guys not worry about so much. Is if you don't like sitting, learn to be patient and understand that you're going to sit. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of where and when. And wouldn't you rather be sitting in a spot where you can get paid for it than sitting somewhere where you're not going to get paid? I mean, just makes sense to me. Alright, so anyway, I don't know what I'll be doing next, so I'll just wait for a pre-planned info to come in, and whenever it happens, I'll surprise you with the new pickup video. Alright, till then, we'll see you guys then. Alright, have a great day.